Synonymous with Ahab is the lust for gay horror authors, apparently.
What?
Because Clive Barker is one of my favorite authors, and he just happens to be gay as hell. But he's also the creator of the Satanistic Demons from Beyond, a.k.a. the Cenobites. And, I'm just a big Clive Barker fan, and this could have been a Hellraiser collection all on its own, but really it's a Clive Barker collection, which progressively gets larger as the days pass. But let's hit up this top shelf. First and foremost, of course, we have this NECA pinhead right here, with a little foreground and base. We got the Pillar of Souls in the background there from part 1 and 2, rather than the shitty one from part 3. And yes, it does have dongs. Here we have, of course, the novel version of Hellraiser, aka the Hellbound Heart. In the background, we have an assortment of first editions of some of his books here. We got In the Flesh, Cabal, Damnation Gang, Great and Secret Show, Everville, and Magic on one side. And here in the middle is one of my favorite pieces. And this is the Cenobite Lair box set. It was exclusive to Spencer's. Back when Spencer's used to be cool. It's no longer, by the way.
I mean, you can buy Dingling Lollipop, so that's pretty rad.
Yeah, and apparently give them to the wrong person. Anyway, man, this was a limited box set. It contains a Clive Barker autographed lithograph drawing of Pinhead, I believe. I've never taken it out of the box, but there it is, the 4 classic Cenobites. The lighting, forgive it, it's a little bit off, but you get the point. The classics, man, in a little lair set. This was a gift from Guntik, and it's a tiny little Lego Pinhead with a tiny little Lego Le Marchand configuration. Pretty neat. Never thought I'd say that Pinhead was cute, but I guess I have to now. Although I guess I did previously with this little fucking thing.
Yep.
What are these? Pint-sized horror something? Whatever. Yeah. It's cool.
Dingleberries.
Speaking of big head freaks, we got, of course, this Mezco big head Pinhead. It's actually pretty cool. I thought I was going to hate it, but you know what? I dig, man. I dig.
Fun fact, we made an unboxing. That's got thrown away.
Yeah, it was not a good unboxing video. Not that any of them are. On the other side, we got some more hardcovers. Everything from the Scarlet Gospels all the way down to, let me get in the way here for a bit, Weave World and other assorted little numbers. Now we go to the second shelf. And here we have the second shelf of my collection. Over here, badly lit, is the Dr. Channard box set.
Standard.
I actually won that in a writing contest along with Series 3 of the Hellraiser series, which you'll see shortly. Again, a little bit hidden behind the lighting, but it's an awesome box set. Here you get a glimpse of it up close. This is from the Tortured Souls line of figures that Clive Barker designed and wrote stories to. Venal Anatomica is the name of this one. On the other side, we got Lucid Beak. Again, very Cenobite-inspired figures, obviously. In the foreground here, we have 2 special editions from Scream Factory, or Shout Factory. Lord of Illusions, Nightbreed. Both director's cuts, and both awesome movies from the man himself. And here we have the most recent sequel to Hellraiser, Judgment, which was actually way better than it should have been, and it's really good, man. I really enjoyed that, and it's been a while since we've said that about a Hellraiser sequel. And here we have the Midnight Meat Train, one of the better adaptations that he didn't direct. Very underrated, very awesome. And we have still some DVD copies of Nightbreed and Lord of Illusions. And Candyman 2, unfortunately not Candyman 1, just because it is there, and fuck it. In the back, we have some more hardcovers, including 2 of his books of plays, a collection of books of blood, some duplicates of some of his more classic books. And this right here is a collection, one of his many collections of his art, which I absolutely love. The interesting story about this tome, in the summers, it grows moss on it.
Oh.
And I have to clean it. Ever since I got it, it's been a problem.
Is it a fungal tome?
It is, in fact, a fungal tome.
Oh!
So when you're questing through some village, this might be where you find the fungal tome, folks. Also, this pretty cool little book, promotional book for the movies, Hellraiser Chronicles. It covers 1, 2, and 3. Just pretty neat, man. Lots of cool pictures, lots of little insight. Not much substance to it, but just one of those cool collectibles that you pick up along the way. Let me get these out of the way real quick to show you behind here. Now, we do have the Aberrant Book 1 and 2, which are his young adult book series. Very neat. We have an authorized biography, which is great, called The Dark Fantastic. Awesome book. And here are some short story collections. This one is based around his Nightbreed, aka Cabal story. And, you know, a bunch of contributors just added substance to that particular story. And same here with Hellbound Hearts, which is a bunch of contributors adding to the Hellraiser mythos. And here's an interesting one that I picked up almost a year ago. Haven't read it yet, though. Sherlock Holmes and the Servants of Hell. I don't know if it's going to be good, but that concept alone deserves mention.
It's going to be better than Holmes and Watson.
I mean, to be fair, literally going to hell is better than Holmes and Watson, apparently. But let's descend further into the third shelf. And the fourth. Alright, the third and the fourth shelf right here. First off, this was a great find. It's the Hellraiser, The Chronicles soundtrack. And it folds out into the configuration here. And within are the soundtracks to the first 3 movies. The first 2 being the best, of course, from Christopher Young, and the third from that guy.
Oh,
you know the guy.
The one in Hush?
And it all folds in together. Has some liner notes in this final cross section right here, which also folds out. And it was just a super cool find, man. When I found this, I had to get it, even though it was pretty expensive. Age has warped it a bit, which is unfortunate. But, you know, you can't win them all. But it is a cool little memento to have. On the end there is the Anchor Bay tin, which is a limited edition. Anchor Bay used to be the people to give you great versions, DVD releases of great horror movies. And they had this limited edition tin. I'm trying to see exactly how many they made, but I can't find it. And it has both part 1 and 2 within a little booklet, some lobby cards, and of course the films ultimately, and obviously just a really nice presentation of the film. Those go for hundreds right now, apparently. Here we have yet another of the Tortured Souls. This is from the second series, and possibly my favorite. Her name is Camille Noir. Very cool figure. I need to get another one because that one's kind of busted up. It was in storage, and by storage I mean thrown in some fucking room by some asshole, and so it kind of got busted up a little, but still one of my favorites. Here we have just a bunch of single issue comics of Clive Barker related stuff, everything from Saint Sinner, as you can see here. This is Pinhead versus Martial Law. And everything's falling now, so let me put that to the side. Here we got Pinhead #1 from Epic Comics. And, you know, even the more modern stuff from Boom. And a bunch of Nightbreed comics in the back there. Just a bunch of single issues, man. Whenever I can find a single issue, I'll pick it up if I can. Let's go to the side here. Here we have trade paperback collections. Here's The Thief of Always. One of his young adult books, Tapping the Vein, which collects a bunch of stories from the Books of Blood, and Hellraiser collections from mostly Epic Comics. Those 3 volumes right there. Here is the comic adaptation of The Great and Secret Show, one of his best books. And this is, of course, the epic Hellraiser Omnibus, his continuation of the Hellraiser mythos past the second movie, because he just hates all the other movies, rightfully so. And the Dark Watch, which kind of followed that up. Pretty awesome. And we have Clive Barker's A to Z of Horror. This is really kind of a gimmick book. It's really just like an encyclopedia of horror stuff with his name slapped on it. Really didn't have much to do with it. But there you go. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Below here, we have this Chatterer 2, which is the only way this Chatterer figure ever got released. You had to be a member of the NECA Hellraiser Club to get this. So this is kind of a prized possession, I guess, as far as this shit goes. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. Of course, Pinhead Pop. Over there, a Tiki. Some soft covers here. Thief of Always Weave World Damnation Game in the Flesh. And Le Marchand's box. Blu-ray set. It's the box. It opens up. And as far as I know, this is the only release of Hellraiser 1 on Blu-ray that actually is a good transfer. The ones from Image are horrible transfers. But this was an Anchor Bay release. And I think to date it's the only good release. But that's not the end of it all. We should check out some more. Down here we have part 1 of 2, I guess, of the 6-inch Hellraiser series. Visible in the shot right now are Series 1 Pinhead, Chatterer, Frank from Series 3, Angelique from Series 2, Series 3 Female, Butterball from Series 2, Series 2 Julia, and Series 1 Chatterbeast. Of course, all these come from a range of the movies. I gotta say, my favorite of these is Angelique, who I had actually lost after my arrest, and I had to buy again. And it cost $32 something to buy it, plus the shipping and handling. So that gives you a hint of how much I like it, that I had to pay almost $40 to get it back. I'm only missing one figure in total, and that's Series 2 Pinhead, which I also had, but was lost along with Angelique, coincidentally, by cops. Anyway, great figures, great sculpts, all from NECA, still in the standard traditional backing board. Unfortunately, the female bubble has yellowed. I don't know how it was not in light, but that's the first section. Let's go on to the second section. Alright, here is the second section of the 6-inch figures. And we have the Bloodline Twins from Series 3, Hell on Earth Pinhead from Series 3, the Wire Twins from Series 1, Barbie from Series 2, CD from Series 1, Stitch from Series 1, and Surgeon from Series 2, and of course a single Wire Twin from Series 1. The Wire Twins double pack was a special exclusive. I just can't remember from what, but I had to special order that one. Unfortunately, the box has been stressed on the top, so that fucking sucks, but it's not like I'm going to sell these or intend to sell them. But anyway, again, great figures, even the ones that are not great characters like CD and Barbie, which fucking suck. Come from a sucky ass movie. Still great sculpts and just great figures to have. I wish they would have made another series to kind of fill out the rest of the missing
Camerahead
Cenobites, with the exception of Camerahead because he fucking licks. But you know what? This pretty much covers all the great ones that you would want anyway. So there is that. One final stroke in this Hellraiser collection, and we're going to get to it right now. How dare I forget, of course, this Rubik's Cube Le Marchand configuration, which Guntig hates so much.
Do it?
But, finally, our, I guess, the crowns in the collection, and that's the 18-inch motion-activated sound Hellraiser's Pinhead and Hellraiser's Chatterer figures from NECA. These, of course, are sought-after figures, and I'm glad I could pick them up. There was an option to get an all-gold 18-inch Pinhead, but I never understood the appeal of that type of figure. Why would I want a solid color figure? I never understood that. I know there are some people that pursue those actively and want them. I'm not one of those people, and I turned down that option, but I'm glad to have the ones that actually look like them and are not fucking pure gold for some damn reason. But anyway, that is my Hellraiser / Clive Barker collection. I hope it gets bigger, just like Peen. As in, I hope it gets bigger, because it's definitely not big. Anyway, tell me what you think about this. Hit like, share, subscribe, and those notification buttons, because we're out.
This music, story times, all kinds of shit for you. Anything goes inside and I don't cup of corpulent juice. This music, story times, all kinds shit for you.